Okay, well, it gets better and better every single day. Why? Because we have knowledge, and knowledge is really the cornerstone to any real marketing campaign. You just can't wing it. One of the things that I like about real estate is that you can come to it from so many different walks of life and so many different perspectives. But one thing's going to be in common, and that is our ability to continually do research to understand what the customer wants to read and see, the content they want to consume, the information about properties, CMAs, and the like. And today's meeting is exactly on that. We're talking specifically about um, about deep research and about how you can conduct it and make the most out of the information that we're able to get out of AI. We're going to get into that in just a second, but first, let's let the mob in, and here they come. Okay, people are starting to pour in. Good morning, folks. Good morning. Okay, it's getting better and better. Oh, Bismarck, please keep your hands on the wheel. You're gonna drive me crazy. Ay, 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 I get so nervous.
I'm almost up to my destination, so
Okay, just
pardon me.
I like to say to people, I did my DNA search and I'm 3% Jewish grandmother, so I worry about everybody. So please be careful. In any case, we got people coming in. Let's see who we got. Deneen from California, welcome. Bismarck, I just mentioned. Eva in Miami. Hassan is coming in here. Melanie's joining us this morning. I'm glad that we connected on Facebook. Maria, Kenny, Jeff, all these folks are coming in from all over the country. This is great stuff. So we're going to talk about deep research, and I'm very curious to see who's actually and actively using deep research in AI. Anybody want to chat with me about that before we get into this here? I'm very curious to hear your perspective on things and what you're utilizing. Don't all jump on me at once. Okay, maybe Cecile, Celine. She's hiding. She's trying to unmute. She's going to push the button at some point. You still got to unmute. You're asked to unmute. Maybe that'll help. There you go.
Hey, it's Brenda. I'm just
Brenda,
trying to
how are you?
change
Okay,
the
I didn't see.
name
I
for my
got the. I
daughter.
guess someone else.
Yeah.
So, how are you using deep research? Are you using any deep research online?
AI.
Yeah.
Um, I used it for comps, but it wasn't the most accurate, so I definitely have to play with that a little bit. And
Okay.
the other day I used it to generate all the critical dates. So I put in the far bar, the as is, and I told it to use business days, and it generated all the critical dates for me, which is
Okay.
kind of nice.
Okay.
Just to double
But
check.
no, look, all great stuff. I'm just curious to see what any of you, if any of you, are going in. And it's unfortunate that you didn't have Brenda, the experience that I was hoping you to have with the research on properties because it's been so instrumental. And I'm going to demonstrate just some of that in a minute. But I'm just curious to see who else has actually used it in research. Come on, guys, we need some participation here. I can't, Brenda and I can't be the only talking heads. Brenda, you get a star. Dirk is trying to open
Oh,
himself
well,
up, but go ahead.
I forgot I did this. I wanted to generate a certain amount of income in multifamily. So I literally asked it, um, what does the profile of a property look like for me to generate a certain amount of income? So
Thank
it
you.
gave me the amount of units, how much how much I need to bring in, what the cost should be, and it really gave me like a three-tier assessment. It was very,
That's
if
amazing.
that helps.
So that's what I'm talking about. When
Right.
you're able to actually get into the research itself, you're really doing, you're just going a step above what competitors are doing. And again, I'm going to show that. Dirk, can you unmute yourself and tell everyone how great you are and where you are?
Good morning, Dirk in Denver.
Okay, and tell us, what are you doing with deep research? What kind of deep research have you done with AI?
As of late, I've been using it to analyze investment properties, specifically multifamily housing. Just this week, I was really dissecting where a lot of the top markets are, where the declining markets are, and really giving it some real good criteria of what I'm looking for as
Okay.
far as a purchase. And it's amazing the reports it's really been spitting out.
So also I think it's important that people should take you seriously. How many doors do you own now? How many units?
Just sold a couple, so I'm under 50 still, but hopefully by about 3 months from now, I should be over 50 doors.
Okay, so you got 50 doors. That's somebody. So you put this together. What was the advantage of using the AI? Just walk us through a little bit of what you discovered.
Um, it's able to really crawl out there and find my criteria I'm looking for. So, for example, one of the things in our multifamily search is we like to be within at least a mile of a Starbucks coffee. Um,
Interesting.
yeah, we figure that Starbucks does a lot of the research on where people are, their trends, what they're doing in the world, and so we piggyback off that.
Isn't that fabulous? Okay, so you see that's sometimes you're now allowing a major corporation to do the research for you, and
Absolutely,
you've discovered that it's worked and worked pretty well.
100%.
Well, okay. Does that resonate with Brenda? That resonates with you? It's just a little bit of thought. Okay. So there's one thing. If all of you you should have all received the 10-minute listing appointment killer. It's going to give you step by step of some of the things that you could do with research. I'm going to go through a few different technologies right now that if anybody wants to bring up a couple other points before I do, that's great. But I want to go through a few different technologies based on what you want me to research. In other words, I'm doing this in real time right here on our show. Okay. There's no safety net here. We're going to take this warts and all and find out what's going on. So let's just get right down to it. I'm going to show you a couple different technologies. First one is called Perplexity, and specifically Perplexity Computer. Just give me a second here. There we go. Of course, there's way too much stuff on the screen. Everyone hear me? Okay, good. So this is Perplexity. Perplexity is, I think it's a pretty cool company actually. They are aggregating information from multiple AIs. In other words, they are taking a little bit of OpenAI or ChatGPT, a little bit of Anthropic, a little bit of lots of different companies, and they're incorporating it into a single search. Perplexity Computer, which you'll pay through the nose for, to me is pretty interesting. To Greg's nodding that yes, it does cost some money here. And when I say pay through the nose, it really isn't terribly expensive on a per for what you get out of it. But I am showing you kind of the Rolls Royce of AI research here. Who wants to throw something out at me that they'd like researched? And I will Suzanne maybe, or I saw Suzanne's driving. I don't know how they do it in New England, but I just figured I'd ask. Or um, whoever's safely not driving, if they could give me just a something to research here. It could be a community. It could be what's going on in your particular area. It could be migration trends in the wintertime. It could be absolutely
Let's
anything.
do let's do Airbnbs in Miami Beach.
Okay, so great. So I want, hold on. I want you to do deep research into Airbnbs in Miami Beach. Now I'm going to ask you a couple questions,
Like the
Brenda.
trends.
Well, more than a trend, what specific things do we want to find out?
I want to find out like the trends in the Airbnb as far as are the owners selling? Are they keeping? Is there a
Oh,
high demand for it?
okay.
Or do I go target Airbnbs to go for listings because maybe they're not renting
Okay,
as much as they
so
thought.
what we want to find out is, are they, how's business? What's been the revenue? And if there's any data that you could give us on year over year cash on cash return, are these properties selling now? Just okay. If I were to try and market myself as a realtor in Miami Beach, what would be some of the best approaches that I could make to them? What kind of data can I present to them that will help make the argument that I should sell their property either as an investment property to another investor or as a single family property? Does that sound okay, Brenda? Yes? Okay, you're still muted here, but okay. So there. Now,
Yes.
we're sending this research off on its own. But now there's more. I'm going to take exactly this research that we did here. And if I could get all this crap off my screen, because again, these, what is it? Zoom takes up a lot of space here. I'm going to now do the same research with Claude, except I'm going to put it into something called deep research here. When you go to Claude, you can see it here. Actually, I'll do that a little bit slower for you. There's a little plus button. You click on that. I'm getting to all my projects here. That's not good. And we got the research button right there. So now I'm going to put research and I'm going to just paste exactly what was asked of Perplexity. And before I go any further, I'll look at all of you. Now, why did I do that? I did that because what we're going to do is called AI stacking or LLM stacking. Don't get psyched out by the data, guys. Don't like think, oh my God, I don't understand that. It's just garbage in, garbage out. Let's just think very carefully here. We're taking one AI, in this case it's Perplexity, and we're taking another AI, in this case it's Claude, and what I'm going to do is take that information and ask a third AI to also research and to put together a single report with all that combined research. Now, why would I do such a thing? For the same reason that you might, when you were in school, like love to get the opinion of your two favorite professors, or why you might want to get the temperature from various perspectives. I'm going through the most basic way to do this with AI. If we had loads of time, we might assign certain categories to the AI. For example, I might want one of them to look through it through the lens of an attorney in whatever state you're in. If this is for Dirk, then it would be in Denver. If it's in Miami, I might go to do this from the perspective of my marketing executive. I might do this from the perspective of your CPA or financial advisor. And I might be able to put all that together and have it synthesized into one single piece of research. Again, this is where people start rolling their eyes and falling asleep. Please don't. I'm going to be with you, and this should make uh, total sense in a moment. So here, let me just show you a couple things that are going on with both pieces of research. Okay. Sorry about it. Sorry about that. Okay, so Claude is asking me all these qualifying questions. Edmund, solid angle. Before I launch the research, two quick clarifications that'll change the output. The property type focus. Okay, where's Brenda? Brenda, unmute yourself, please, because I got questions for you.
Got
Okay,
it.
so what's the property type focus? Should I weigh the research towards condos, condo hotels?
Single family homes.
Okay, so I'm going to go one, just single family homes. Okay, two, STR legalities. Miami Beach has strict, frequently changing short-term rentals rules, zoning districts. Do you want the full legal regulations um, versus not the current fine structure or just the performance data?
No,
What do we want?
I don't think we need that because
Okay,
it would be
so
to sell it.
just the performance data. And then three, geographic granularity, Miami Beach proper, only South Beach, Mid Beach. So no, we want Surfside. We want it all, right?
Yeah.
So we're
How
gonna say
about
three.
market saturation?
Please give us all related areas and also market saturation. I heard that. Okay, so now let's see if they ask any further questions. And this is going to go on maybe 10 minutes here. So, like Chef Tell used to do in the baking shows, it's not going to access my private information, but I gave it access to everything at this point. So there, now it's going to go do the research. Let's take a look at what this guy came up with here. Okay, great. Miami Beach Airbnb business remains strong despite growing supply, with average annual revenues around 37,000 to 43,000 per listing and positive year-over-year growth. Market performance. The average annual revenue for Miami Beach Airbnb sits around 37,000, driven by 366 average daily rates. Okay, so this is some pretty, Brenda, we happy? Somewhat? No?
Yeah.
Okay, you're a tough customer here. Okay, so it's got all this great information here, and it's giving some suggested follow-ups. What I'm going to do is the when this information is actually figured out on Claude, as I said before, I'm going to take both pieces of information, put it together, and ask it to produce a a branded piece of research for me. Now, what do I mean by branded? I took the time, again, all of you could look back at some of the past meetings that we've had here. Remember when we spoke about Claude Skills? Does that ring a bell? Okay, Brenda, you might not have been here, but Claude Skills. So Claude Skills is like a permanent set of commands that you're going to give Claude. It's beyond a prompt. It's giving specific step-by-step instructions. In the case of the Edmund Bogen brand, I made it a very obvious name. I want similar colors, similar fonts. I want my tone. I'm a bit of a potty mouth. I say shit and fuck every now and then. I don't mind that being in my content. Why? Because it's uniquely me. So if I just offended somebody, sorry. Not so sorry, but a little sorry. Okay, you have to actually have your authenticity, and you have to be the ability to change that. So I loaded within all of my AIs with something that I've called the Edmund Bogen brand, and it's going to synthesize all this information into in this case, we're going to create a landing page, which I can then share with all of you, and you can see for yourself what actually came of this. Let's just see. This guy's going to probably be baking for a little while, as I like to say. Yeah, we're only at 2 minutes of baking here. Let's find some other things that we could actually research. I'm going to show you some other tools that you might not. Who has ChatGPT? Anyone here have ChatGPT? Okay, sarcastic question, I know. Let's take a look at something that I love on ChatGPT. Sorry about that. Let's see. So ChatGPT has two different research functions. It's got more than that, but for the purpose of this meeting, let's call it two different functions. One of them is something called deep research. You can see it right here. Okay. Another one, which is pretty interesting, if you go to the more section, it says agent mode. Any one of you who are paying $20 a month has this agent mode. To the best of my knowledge, I don't think it's right now available on the lesser or free versions, but we could take a look at what the agent mode is. Picking somebody else. Greg, can you give me something to quickly research, or Kenny, or Hedeka, somebody?
To quickly research. Folly Beach, South Carolina, short-term rental.
What is it called? Folly
Folly, Folly, Beach,
Beach, South Carolina, rental.
short-term rental, short-term.
Okay, what about it?
Um, History and current state.
Okay. I want historical and current state pricing
General information. And I think it's going to just slam you with all kinds of stuff.
and general information.
Yeah.
Okay. So here, now watch what happens when I hit enter on here. Now, ChatGPT is going to open almost like a little television set. It's thinking. It's thinking. It's setting up its desktop. Okay, guys, this is the fun part. Get excited. The enthusiasm. A little bit. Okay. If you're not going to moonwalk with me, I'm not going to moonwalk either. Speaking of moonwalk, anyone see the Michael Jackson movie yet? Maybe. I want to see it.
Yes.
Yeah, I did last night.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was really good.
Okay. See
Kid
that?
did a great job.
Okay, so let's see. This still is setting up the desktop. This guy's still doing its research. This one actually completed the research. So we're still on to just a couple of things here. Up, here we go. So now you can take a look within ChatGPT. It sets up and it's agentically, don't get freaked out by the words. It just means autonomously, or it's going out there on its own and doing some research. And we could see where it's getting this research from. Realtor.com, Zumper, and I'm actually scrolling through the Zillow, all these different things, and it's going to synthesize that data and return to us information that hopefully matters to Greg, because making Greg happy is one of my big goals here. So
I
let's
wanted I
what?
wanted to see what it finds around the restrictions, the caps, and
Okay.
all the litigation that's taken place since then.
Okay, well, we're gonna let this synthesize and see what comes up. I want to
Yeah.
just try and get some more. Who else? I'm going to show another example of research through ChatGPT. Who else has something that we could research?
I do.
Who's I do? I can't hear you. Who is it?
Leslie, can you hear me?
Leslie, hi. Leslie,
Hey,
tell everyone who you are and where you are.
I'm Leslie Mitchell. I live in the Metro Charlotte area. I'm licensed in both North and South Carolina.
Very cool.
And I've been away for a while, so maybe this is like, oh yeah, we already did this and that's boring or whatever.
Oh,
But
come on. Let's give us your worth. Let's hear it.
I was uh I was doing some work on gosh, this is elementary. Okay, I'll just confess I'm Catholic. I asked ChatGPT yesterday what was the most common type of residential real estate transaction in uh, Charlotte.
Okay.
And let's see what you come up with.
Okay. Well, I don't,
And you could,
I mean, it's basic, but it's pretty good, I think. So repeat the question to me. What is the most
what is the
common?
most um, common type of residential real estate transaction in Charlotte?
What is the most common type of residential real estate transaction in Charlotte, North Carolina?
Yeah, I'm kind of redoing things and just like, who should I be targeting type of thing. Anyway,
Okay.
I've had a lot of medical issues, so this is
Okay. Well,
kind of why I'm
sorry for that, and welcome back.
well, thank you.
Um, so here now, this one, each one of these things you'll notice does things a little bit differently. This thing's telling you what to do, and it's giving you the opportunity to edit this approach. So they want to collect recent housing markets from their local MLS. They want to extract transaction type. They're consulting Mecklenburg County. Is that your county, I guess?
Mecklenburg County, yeah,
Mecklenburg.
that's
Sorry. Okay. My dyslexia here. Review local real estate brokerage and developer reports. Synthesize. Okay. I think all that's good. I'm going to just push start, but it gave me the opportunity to edit that. So great. Now we got like four things going on here, guys. Let's take a look. This guy here is still researching. We could see that it's still clicking through. And this guy's still going on to almost 8 minutes doing more and more research. Whew. I would be tired, but I'm not because the AI is doing everything for me. Woo. I mean, come on. It's pretty cool stuff. And when it does get through, I'll be able to show you the output of what has gone. It's not just the research that you get, but the delivery and how you actually deliver that research. And for that, I'm going to show you one other thing that you could marvel at, I hope. I'm going to pull my screen up in just a second. Okay, so, okay, everyone, here we go. Everyone see that? Good. Okay, so I got to get a better view for you here. Hold on a second. Come on, Ed. Okay, well, this is what I got. So here, this is my weekly email. It goes out today. Every Wednesday, I put it out there. And all of my research is basically done in the way that I'm showing to you right now. You need to actually if you come to my meetings, I'm telling you, I'm going to teach you how to get rid of 80 to 90% of the busy work. but the last 10 to 20%, you damn well better be there because you could fuck up and fuck up big time, and you don't want to do that. But here, I've got a standard template. This is the Edmund Bogen brand, by the way. I like it clean. I like it blue. I like it looking like my company, Douglas Elliman. Most of you are not from Douglas Elliman, but I am, and so I like to mirror that. And I sent out to do some research about the new Boca Elite, why your neighbor might be a 40-year-old fintech founder, not a retiree. So let's take a look at the research that actually came with it. And you could see doing exactly what I had done, where I took multiple AIs. I actually had it not only research all of this, but in my voice, write an article. They came up with some charts and some, these little commentary here, over here, some grids that were actually pretty interesting. But forget whether I had a good time making this or it actually worked out. Let's see what the output was. The output was 109 clicks or 7%, which is pretty good. But more importantly, we could take a look at where these people clicked. So when I see my article here, and I can zoom in on it, the new Boca Elite, so I know that's the article, I see 65 people clicked on that. That's a pretty impressive piece of data to me. And we can see this Robert Einhorn clicked several times. This is a neighbor. This is somebody who's, so I know all the people. Here's Brenda. I don't know if she's in the meeting now. Some of you, this is another neighbor and somebody, all these here are neighbors. I had dinner with this guy the other night. So all these different people, I'm not only seeing what they're doing, but because of the quality of the content, they chose to click. That is really valuable information. Don't screw that up. Don't screw that up. Why? Because you now have the attention. All of us are dying to get the attention of somebody. Who came in? Okay, Demania is here. I'm just trying to see who else is here that oh, Melanie came this morning. So both of you, again, you don't have to unmute yourself if you don't want, but all of you clicked on my Facebook group today. I put this Facebook group up, ChatGPT and Real Estate Mastermind. There's more than 15,000 people in that. And I put some great content in there. And in the case of that, I put the research that I did for this particular meeting. And guess what? These two ladies clicked and said, yes, interested. I'd like to find more about this deep research. And what happened then? I not only sent them the deep research, but I sent them the link. Why don't you try my mastermind? And both of them are here now. Now, is that the end of the relationship? I hope not. I hope not. But the methodology is the same. They came here. Hopefully, they think that I'm not full of crap and that I'm a pretty good guy and maybe I should actually meet with them. Hint, hint, hint. I'd love to meet with both of you. Yeah. And hopefully, then we could see where we could take this. Why can't you do this for your sales? Guess what? You can. And you could get topics that matter locally to the people that matter to you the most. So I'm going to go back here and take a look. If anybody has questions, please hop in. And let's just take a look. This guy's still collecting his research. This guy's still researching. And this thing's still, like I said, I didn't say it was the shortest process. But these guys are still going out there and doing the research. And when it's ready, I will synthesize all of this together. And you could see that the output is going to be exactly what I showed you. Eva, I did something similar yesterday with you in Miami. I don't know if you reviewed what I sent you, but it's a pretty strong piece of marketing that you could actually get. And here's the thing. If all of you do this here, you're going to be part of the 0.00000% of real estate agents in the world that do this. Nobody's doing it, and it's available to you. And it's free. Is it $20 a month? Maybe. But that, you know what? That's free. In our business, that's nothing. That's no money. Eva, do you have a question or you just
No.
tell everyone who you are and where you are, and then I'll pick on you, Kenny. Don't worry. I'm not going to forget about you.
I am Eva. I'm in the Douglas Elliman office in Miami, Coral Gables.
Great.
So what we did yesterday was research about all the homes, all the properties in the Pinecrest area.
Yep.
So we had this amazing report that I took a quick look last night. I was late. And okay, so we have this I don't know how many pages, a lot of pages of research. So now it's a matter of how do you put together and what you do with that. You sell, I guess we have to do like a PDF or something nice that we can do like an email blast with it to the area or to my database.
Yes, yes, and yes.
Choose what information we're gonna send. I guess that's part of the 20% that we have to work on, no?
Well, yeah, that's exactly the part of the 20% that Eva, do you mind if I share this?
Yeah, no.
Can I show it to everyone? Okay, so Eva's a coaching client. I work one-on-one with Eva, and one of the things that I want is to try and get her some great material. And this wasn't the quickest thing, but it was certainly worth it. So I created this for her, and you could see that it says Eva Walther, and it has all the different research here. Now, this was the first iteration of it. I also made it in Spanish. I don't know if you saw that, Eva.
No, I didn't see that yet.
So I made it English and Spanish, and I made it a light dark mode. And again, all of this is brought to you by AI. The research was done, the branding was put in. We will be having another meeting about putting the branding together and getting this stuff out there. But Eva's asking a very important question. So you could also click on it up here and see the various information. And people like to click around. I mean, they like to see this information. There's two things that we need to do with you, Eva. One, we need to make a payment gateway or some type of data collection mechanism. Now, all of you who have the workbook, you went through such a gateway. You put your information in, and you were able to download the workbook, and we captured your data. I'm very transparent about all this. I'm using words like capture. I mean, I'm not capturing. You're not the enemy. We're friends here. But so you need to figure out just what do you want to do with that data? What are you now that you've got it? What are we going to actually do? What I want all of you, well, I want all of you to 100x the volume of content you're getting out there. You're not doing enough of it. People, and it's I don't mean just listed, just sold, under contract. Nobody gives a flying fuck. They don't. Okay? Do you have to put it out there? Yes, because you have to remind people that you're a realtor. But what you really need more than anything else is to be a thought leader and a thought leader within the area. Eva, this right here immediately sets you aside from other people in your community that are I mean, it's real hard hitting stuff. When I made the hurricane preparedness guide, that is something that really is, if I'm worried about hurricanes, I'm probably going to read it. And if you read Edmund Bogen on it, it's just going to be one more thing that allows you to continually crank this content out. So here's an assignment to help you along. You should write this down. Make an exhaustive list of the types of things that you could benefit from the research. I say this in every meeting. People say, can you overpost? Yes, you could overpost crap. But when you were single, if you were getting text messages from your love interest, they couldn't text you enough. You'd be so happy to hear from her or him or whoever. You'd be so thrilled to be getting those messages. That's the kind of content I want you to keep in mind. I want you to make the kind of content that people want to read. Good news, you have no sense of writing anything. AI could do much of it for you. But, and I say it every time, the last 10 to 20% is up to you. If you don't check, if you don't read, if you don't do all the thing, Dirk, please nod wildly. Look, Dirk's nodding wildly. If you don't do that, you're going to mess up, and that will be bad. Let me just see. Go ahead and throw some of the questions out if you have them. These things are still up. Here we go. One of them is now ready. So let's take a look here. Okay, so your Miami Airbnb, if we take a look at this, it did research for 16 minutes and 49 seconds, almost 17 minutes. And let's take a look at the Miami Luxury Airbnb Seller Playbook. Let's see what this actually produced. So it came up with all this great information. Again, it's hard to actually read and see, but again, that's the 20%. So I need you to actually do that portion of the research. Let me copy it. Let me go back to our original research. If everyone remembers, we did this over here with another AI, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to input another AI's research on the same topic. I want you to synthesize both and using the Edmund Bogen brand skill, produce a landing page with this information that could be shared with the general public. Okay, so there I just shared that. And now this guy's going back to work. That is AI stacking. We took one thing from, in this case, Perplexity, another thing from Claude, we put it together, and it's actually working out and synthesizing the information here. And one of the things that I'm going to have to do at the end of this is tell it to actually make a landing page, which it might not have picked up on here, but I will share that with all of you. And you'll be able to see for yourself whether this was quality or crap. And by the way, I reserve the right for it to be crap because of the 10 to 20%. Go ahead, Eva. Eva, did you have a question?
Yeah. What was the third AI where you are putting the Claude and the...
Good question. I just put it back into Perplexity.
Into Perplexity. Okay.
I just put into Perplexity. But by the way, when writing my book, Prompt to Close, available now on Amazon, sorry, I had to give myself a plug there. What did I do to actually create that? All of these meetings are being recorded. This meeting is being recorded and transcribed. And as it is, I'm getting literally hundreds of hours of content from both my spoken word and your spoken word for people that are participating in this meeting. Yes, that it is a shameful plug. Just deal with it, okay? You know. But it works because now I took all that information and I put all of it into another AI called Claude Code. I didn't forget you, Kenny. I swear I'm gonna get you.
No, it's here.
Okay. And I then put it into other AIs where I went Claude Code generated the 16 chapters that I should have, or it suggested, and we went back and forth debating what it should be. And then I took each one of those chapters and put them in multiple AIs, again, this AI stacking, to come up with what I thought would be some of the best content. And I made the changes that I wanted to make, and I did certain things. But here was the thing I did at the end of the book. I went to ChatGPT, Claude Code, Gemini, Grok. Okay, I went to 5 or 6 different, Perplexity, of course. And I put each chapter by chapter in there. And then at the end, the whole book. And I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being total crap and 10 being the best thing ever, can you please rate the book? And rate it from these different perspectives. Again, my target audience are working realtors and entrepreneurs, although it's got a strong bias to real estate. And what did it do? When it first came back, 6.5 to 8. Not good enough. I need to be better. What changes could be made? So I started making adjustments to the book, and I kept putting it back in that same fashion in all the different AIs till I got to the point where it's 8.7 to 9.4, 9.5. And then I'd make a certain change, and the one that was 8.7 went up to 8.9, but the one that was 9.4 went down to 8.9. In other words, now we're getting into computers' opinions here. Right? So at some point, I needed Ed, the 10 to 20%, to actually judge and say, this is where we stop. This is where we actually have the output that really, truly matters. And that's when the book was made. And that's how the book was made. It's a book on AI. I'm not going to lie to all of you. I never would have put this together if it wasn't there. This is the modern ghostwriter, but doing it in a way that I could honestly say it's all my content. This whole meeting I've been talking, you guys talk, we have content going back and forth. We've just captured it in a new way. And what do I have now? I have a book. I have a book that goes out to every single possible buyer or seller that I have. And you guys don't have a book. Why not? Make a book. A book's a great thing. Okay, so let's see. Oh, sorry, Kenny, you've been so patient. Go ahead, Kenny.
Okay. I've always got some interesting, complicated transactions and some wealthy people, but right now, here's my question at first: how to protect owner identity and assets using trusts, foreign entities, LLCs combined in other states. I've got a client right now with a business trust in Pennsylvania, setting up foreign identity entities in Wyoming to buy property in California under LLCs. I've got a top attorney working on this, but it's something we should know how to help our clients in some way. So I'm like, not that I'm lost. This guy understands it. Luckily, it's taking forever. We can't even open a escrow until this is right. Um, but how could I want to gather information on how this is done to protect uh, ownership identity and real estate assets
What I
using, yeah.
what I would do is make an endless list of your questions. That's A. B, what am I going to say about attorneys? You need them. You're not
Oh
an
yeah.
attorney. The computer's not an attorney. But I do believe that you could dramatically reduce their fees. I do believe that you could come up with all the legwork in advance. My sister has a fictitious character on what is it, on Instagram called Dr. Hen Says. It's a medical kind of advice thing. She's got 250,000 followers now. I'm real proud of her because she was never really the social media type. But she did all of her intellectual property this year with AI and got the final blessing from the attorney. And I said, "How did it go?" She said, "How did it go? I saved thousands." She saved so much money, but she still had the attorney in there. So Kenny used the attorney. That's
Yeah, we got one of the best, and I'm just trying to figure it out. I mean, the client's really smart, and it's taken forever dealing with.
yeah. I wish I could
But
come up
just
with.
just to know this, because people hide their money with, corporations in Nevada, Wyoming, so forth, business trust. California doesn't recognize land trust because land trust you could hide identities. But so, man, I don't have time to learn the law, but luckily my client knows it well, but not well enough.
Yeah. Well, again, you don't need to learn the law. You just need to find out as much as you can. But I say that with all the disclaimers that I possibly can. Please, for goodness sakes, don't not use an attorney and realize that AIs do make mistakes and that it's really up to you to check it out. Okay, let's take a look here at uh, at our little site here. So now we created, okay, I'm not too nuts about it. I think that we've got too much room over here. We probably need an image. We have the light dark feature, which Aton kind of championed for me. Um, and Aton's my business partner. But here it's created this site where you could actually see the numbers. Yeah, I'm not too nuts about this one. And how Edmund positions opportunity. Obviously, it just went through what it was trained to know, but you could see this whole step-by-step article was actually written. Um, and it gives even the opportunity because I trained it to know what to say at the end. We still need things like a privacy policy and other types of information in here. And you actually need to read it to see if this is really telling the story that you want it told. But I give this a B minus or a C plus. I don't really look at this and say that this is ready for prime time as of yet. I could show you some things that are. This is ready for prime time, and it's got the light dark feature that I like so much. And if you want to download the PDF, all of you have this. That's pretty cool. Okay, my website, Bogen.ai, was largely written and produced using the Claude skill. Over here, everyone asks me where the past videos are. It's in the video section, so you can watch these past videos. Pretty cool. What else do we have here? Okay, so here, this was another business plan that we're writing up. Once again, the research is done and pricing and various stuff gets put in, and we have a whole kind of experiment back and forth internally within my team, and we're able to really put this together. We do landing pages for every single property that we have. We do information of what's going on within the communities there. We have specialized apps for every open house that we have. This is not something that is just used every now and then. This is done every single day. So I would encourage all of you to, if anything, I was hoping that this meeting would kind of whet your interest to being able to discover it a little bit more. The best thing you could do is get onto AI and break shit. Just try, fail, do it again. That's really the best way. That's what I'm doing every single day is I break shit. Okay, questions before we get to wants, needs, and brags.
Ed, I got a question.
Who's
Actually,
that? Who's that?
it's
Oh,
Paula.
Paula. Paul, tell everyone who you are and where you are.
Hey, I'm Paula Anaruma in Northeast Queens, New York.
Woo! The
So,
Queen of Queens.
not exactly. Somebody already took that phrase, so I'm not copying. So, Damiana actually put this in the chat. What about having AI create a CMA with pictures and actual numbers? I don't know if I missed that part of it. Did you answer that?
Thank you, Damiana, for asking a great question. And yes, you certainly can. I've got videos in the archive of one of the things that I do with that is Claude Code. Um, I also said to all of you that we will be having a non-normally scheduled meeting to nerd out with me. If anybody remembers, I said come nerd out with me on how to use Claude Code. We're going to be getting that out probably by the end of May, and I'll give all of you advance. It's again, if you feel a little lost in it, it's okay. I'm going to be, I don't, I want all of you to come if you want to come, but just understand that I'm kind of taking the gloves off and showing you some more advanced skills in that meeting. Um, but as far as getting the photos and all this, one of the things that I do, every image you see of me is I'm usually sitting like kind of facing that way, because I have a hero image that I use. It's Edmund Bogen, Edmund Pix #3. I've got that in my computer. I put that into ChatGPT, and I'll say to ChatGPT, which currently right now is making superior images. I don't know if any of you have tried it lately, but I
Yeah.
see Damania is nodding here. That's good. Um, so ChatGPT is making some pretty damn impressive images. I give it this prompt. Now, some of you might laugh. Um, Here's the story. I'm doing a thing about young, wealthy people migrating to South Florida. There. Um, I want to be in the center of the image, make it a cartoon, but photorealistic. Make sure you leave my dark frame glasses on, which are really my brand. Next month I'll be 58. I'm 58 years old. Okay, here's where you laugh. Brutally handsome and masculine. Okay, I really put that in there. I'm not shitting with you. Okay, I really do. You know, and not overweight. I don't want to see this here. You guys know that it's there. Okay, fuck it. I don't want that. Okay, at least I'm honest about it, guys. I mean, So then when you see those images, everyone's like, God, I wonder who makes his shirts. Look at that. Wow. So we get all that information there, and then I could take that and put it along with whatever we want. I see Kenny. Is this show and tell,
Yeah.
Kenny? You're trying to show us
Yeah,
something.
my wife made this with Notebook LM.
Yes.
This is like she's into sustainable housing and stuff. So this is something she used as a chart at a big conference. She just asked it to create a, uh, house that's just resilient and
Good.
sustainable. So it's got put all the features in, so it's completely done by AI.
Yeah.
So it's
Great.
got
Great for her. Great for
yeah,
us.
yeah,
And because somebody in this meeting has it in their mind, really sucks for people who did this for a living. Don't you agree?
yeah.
It really sucks for the graphic designers. They're out of work. Just as when I started in this business, the woman who handed me, I was working with her, sweet lady, gave me a post-it note with her favorite helicopter pilot that could create the greatest aerial shots, but it costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of money to get the aerial shots, so it's got to be one of your expensive listings, but he's a great helicopter pilot. This is 13 years ago. There were drones then. She didn't even know about it. This guy was like dying for her to call. That was the last piece of business that the guy actually had. Okay, out of business. Floor plans. I used to get Home Depot measuring surfaces. Now I've got an app. I'm paying $26 a month and I complain too much about that. And you create the floor plan instantly, right?
Which app is
Virtual
that?
staging.
Which app is that, Ed?
Uh, I knew you were going to
Floor
ask
plan.
me that. There's a bunch of them. I'll tell you in
Okay.
a second. Let me.
Okay. No,
I'm
I
on a
haven't.
tangent.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
so I mean, we're seeing all these different things come about, and there's going to be a point in time where you're going to say, "Wait a minute, what's going on?" Uber is now driving people to properties. The Uber driver is going to get out and unlock the property, and he's not going to be allowed to say anything. A realtor is going to be able to speak to them either via iPhone or some other device. And this is not fiction, guys. They're working on stuff like this right now. That's your replacement. Okay? That's what is out there. That's why, for goodness sakes, you got to become a farmer like me. You got to
Yes.
focus. I don't care if it's a wealthy organization, wealthier the better, truth be told, you'll make more money. But if you have homes that are 300,000 to $700,000, that's great. That's bread and butter work. All of us have done those deals, and ain't no shame in that. You'll hear me talk more about my $5 million deals, but the reality is all of us need to make a living. Isn't that true? Nod wildly. Yes. More wildly. Bobblehead, come on. So, so I can't promise you that we're not all going to be replaced at some point. What I can promise you is that you're going to have an incredible advantage over every other realtor, at least
Curious.
for the foreseeable future, if you take the time to embrace all this stuff. That's the important part. Okay, questions before we get to, we're not want to.
I
Okay,
have a question.
and am I saying it right, Dominia?
Damiana.
Damien, I am sorry. I'm sorry. Can you
That's okay.
tell us where you're from and how we met?
I'm a few lights from you.
Okay, cool.
I'm in Coconut Creek.
Love it. Love it. I've been to
Coconut,
the casino there.
I'm from Coconut Creek, Florida. I've been in real estate for over 28 years.
Great.
I was with Remax. I'm no longer there. I moved about a month ago after 20 years. Anyway, I use AI for everything, but not as advanced as you. Because
Okay.
what I learned from you when I went on your site, what you sent me, I was like, wow, this could do this. I was very impressed, and that's why I had to come on the call today.
Thank
So my
you.
question to you is, what's um I work mainly in the Coconut Creek, Parkland, Coral Springs, Margate area, and how could I, like get the proper pricing on a house, especially in this rigid market. I think I have a house priced right, and it's priced right according to what the market is, but it's just not selling. What could I put into the AIs to get the proper pricing? What can I do, etc. I don't know.
So so here's again, and I encourage you to go to Bogen.ai and look at the video section because I got all these archived videos of I know I did something on just this recently. First and foremost, the reason I farm my 728 beautiful homes is because I've got a lot more control over what's going on. I really know each and every single square inch of this place. I'm able to have my own intuition, which if you're doing too wide an area, you can't. For example, I'm on Foxborough Lane. My home faces, when I look out the window, I see a golf course. And beyond that, there's the rest of the community. Behind me is also Foxborough Lane, obviously. If you look in that other direction, there's the Florida Turnpike. Okay. Zillow will tell you the value of both the homes as being eerily close. My history has taught me that that's just not the case.
Mm,
That this home is worth several $100,000, if not a lot more than that, than the home on the other side of the street.
mm,
That's where the AI breaks down and where I keep saying we need the 10 or 20% of you. I
mm,
need you to understand the territory that you're working in. That's first of all. Secondly, to get the appropriate comps, you could then put them all into ChatGPT, Claude, any one of these, along with the prompts that I have on the Bogen.ai on the video, and try for yourself to see what actually comes up.
Yeah.
But what we went through today are severalfold. One, the stacking of AIs, LLM, AI, Claude, and ChatGPT, and a bunch of things putting the information together. Good, great, got it. The second thing we discussed was an actual Claude skill to make it in a format that matters to you. Okay, I made my format that matters to me. I did something for Eva because I thought it was a format that mattered to her. Um, and then the third point and the third leg of the three-legged stool is to figure out the actual delivery. Well, that's the toughest one of all. How are we actually going to get everyone to read it? Here's the good news. If you add a person a day to your mailing list, an email or two emails a day, whatever it is, In a month, you're going to have 20 people. I'll let you work 5 days a week on that. So your role, every one of you, should be building an email list. What's the number one social media in the world? Email. Everyone's usually shocked by that. Email, despite all the spam and all the crap that's out there, you get far more engagement from email still. And you've got this great ability. I mean, look at it while you're here. Look at how you're here. I gave you a little something that you wanted to see, and now look, we're friends. Now you made it here. So I think that that's kind of an important thing. I will also show you one other thing. And guys, we are getting to wants, needs, and brags, I swear. Hold on. Okay. So this is, oh, come on, Ed. Okay, so if you go to, there's a couple things I want you to take a look at. One, I've got due to Boca Raton, Delray Beach, and the surrounding areas. And here you'll see a nice AI person. I probably need to change this up. And you'll see a bunch of, some of the content. One of the things you'll also see is participant requests. Well, you also see a lot of spam here. I got to talk to my team about getting this out of here. But we're able to put content on here that matters to the people who live in Boca Raton, Delray Beach, and the surrounding areas. And you can see that 11,000 people joined. Right now, there are participant requests and 10 people requested today. I want to show you that again. Okay, this is all content driven. So now we could take a look at some of these people here. This Carrie joined. She joined Facebook 21 years ago. Quick, why is it important that she joined Facebook 21 years ago?
It's real.
Huh?
I mean, she's real.
It means she's real. She's not a scam. 21 years ago, it's not a scam going for 21 years. Very good. Lives in Delray, works at David Yurman. I guess see that. I am a renter planning to buy. And here's her contact information. And this came in 2 hours ago. Does anyone see the value of that?
That's good.
That's fucking awesome. That is content-driven marketing. That's why this deep research is the starting point to all of that. And that's why on a coaching basis and a one-on-one basis, I want to work with you guys on that. Ava, important stuff. It does take time, yes, but it is, once it's built, something that you could delegate very easily and put out there. Okay, wants, needs, and go ahead, Kenny. Last question, then we're going to.
What I just wanted to say is, regarding farming, they said become a big fish in a small pond, basically.
Correct.
Yeah, that's the
correct. It's a lot of, but and by the way, you can say, but Ed, I market to the whole world and it works for me. Good, don't stop. I'm just showing you what's working for me. I'm making money. Okay, it's working. I mean, the phone keeps ringing and happy days. I'm happy about that. Okay, wants, needs, and brags. Now's the time in the meeting to talk about what you want, what you need, and what you'd like to brag about. Got my little one coming home in a week, so I'll brag about that. I don't see my kids enough. So to me, anytime there, I'm sure she's going to be bored stiff in a couple days, a couple hours. But the point is that I'm going to be happy for that time. So that's what I've got to brag about. What do you guys have to brag about? It could be about your kids, your family, your business. Greg, please tell everyone.
I have a brag.
Tell us.
I shouldn't do this. I should wait until I get at the closing table, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Okay.
I put under contract this past weekend what, when it closes, will be one of the top 5% most expensive pieces of real estate in Charleston.
Look at that. You see that? Good stuff.
It will make my year. I'll come see you after that.
Okay. And all of you should come to Florida. All of you should, Alicia and I will have a fight, whether it should be Boca or St. Pete, but all of you should come to Florida. The water is great. Life is fun. I don't know. I like it.
Go to Florida, and when the first hurricane comes through, come back to Charleston and settle here.
Do that, or go to Disney. It's all fun. Livette, please, how are you?
I'm great. So we would all love to come to Florida. You just have to let us know when the meetup is.
I'll make that. Well,
I've been asking for over a year.
to the Californians, my meetup is the last Friday of May. Kenny's going to be there, So we're having lunch in at Tartine in Santa Monica. So if anybody's going to be there, that's great. Take care, Greg. But go ahead. What else, Livette? Livette?
That's it.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Okay.
just looking forward to happy hour. That's all.
Well, you make it to Florida. Come on, I'll buy all of you lunch or drinks, or eventually I'll do something with everybody. That'll be fun stuff. Who else?
This is Hedika.
Hedika, it's great.
So I wanted to brag about you and your team because they helped my customer. She was there last 2 weeks ago on a weekend, and she bought in Boca. What was Boca Raton? She bought an apartment with Samantha. So I just wanted to thank you, your
Thank
team,
you.
for
In Boca Point.
Boca
Point. It's a country club. Yes. No,
yeah.
Thank you. And I want to thank you. I should have done that before for the introduction. And
sure.
There's a lot of this goes on. Guys, also, if you get some great leads, I hear about it usually a year later. I don't want your commission on this. If you get a great lead from someone in a relationship that you've made here, let's brag about it. It adds value to the group, and I think that's wonderful. So, and Hedika, it's always great to see you, and you're a great participant and a good friend, and I do appreciate you. Who else?
When is the coding class?
I suck. I need to give you a date. I get it. I'm trying to find all this. I'm going to give you 3 weeks notice, and it's not going to be on a Wednesday or a Friday. Next week, we are going to have our meeting on Wednesday and probably Friday. Anybody interested in SEO, particularly with AI, how to actually get visible, through natural organic search? Are you glazing over? In other words, when you type in Hedika Aziz in Google or in something, wouldn't you like to see or if you type in top realtor in your area, wouldn't it be nice to have that actually come up, or the benefits you could get? I'm trying to get a great speaker, and he's just trying to give me the dates. If we could get it, I'm going to do it Wednesday and Friday of next week. That's why I don't have a topic right now. But we will get that out to all of you. For those of you who are coaching clients, we should have your next meeting scheduled one-on-one as we do at the end of each meeting. If you think it's missing, please do reach out to me so that we could get that booked up. If you're interested in any type of strategic planning or coaching, please do let me know. We're doing some great things with a lot of you. It's great stuff. And I'm grateful to all of you for being here.
What's the lunch date for Santa Monica? You have that yet?
I think the 25th of May. It's the last Friday.
Okay.
Is
29th.
Is it the 29th? Okay. Who is that?
Deneen,
another one who's coming to lunch. Yes, it's the 29th. It's my birthday lunch. My birthday is May 31st. And I love chocolate layer cake. And I'll try not to take my Manjaro that day. I'm just kidding, Okay, guys. Look, great to see everyone, and let's reconnect real soon. If you got questions, give me a buzz.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Take
Evan.
care, everybody. Yep. Bye.
thank you. Bye.
Bye.